All right. Welcome, everybody, and in the audience and at home. Tonight is Tuesday, January 10th, 2023, and I'm going to call the meeting to order. Melissa, would you mind taking the roll call?
Sure. Carl Hubner?
Here.
Jason Giard?
Here.
David Smith?
Here.
Megan Malcolm? Here. Erin Pellegrini?
Here.
And also seated at the board table is Superintendent Bob Thompson and CFO Jeff Dowd. And we also have our district and building administrators present tonight. So thank you all for being here.
Thank you. All right, we can stand for the pledge. Hey, Erin, you want to lead us in the pledge?
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, everybody. All right, thank you. All right, so tonight we are doing the public hearing on the bond and on the public hearing for the proposed 2023-2024 budget and a preview of other 23 warrants. For those at home watching remote, tonight's meeting materials can be found on the district's warrant and budget website. In order to find this material, you can go to the district's webpage at hsdschools.net. You can drop down the school board menu, click on the warrant and budget words, then choose the 2024 warrant and budget for links to meeting materials for your reading pleasure. All right, so part one of this tonight, we'll go through the introduction again of the school district and the board. Part two is presentation of the warrant. Part three will be the public hearing on the bond. Part four will be the public hearing on the budget. And then lastly, part five will be additional warrant articles. There we go. All right. On the next slide, so introduction to the school district and school board. As in the roll call, board members seating here is Carl Hubner, Megan Malcolm, Erin Pellegrini, Jason Giard, and myself, David Smith. And we've also got school superintendent Bob Thompson. We also have the CFO Jeff Dowd and school board clerk Melissa Post sitting at the table. Next slide. All right, so to go into this district profile, Hampstead School District is located in Hampstead, New Hampshire, includes two schools, the Hampstead Central School and the Hampstead Middle School. Currently, we have 841 students in grades pre-K through 8th grade. There are additional 364 students in grades 9 through 12 who are tuitioned to Pinkerton Academy in Derry. Pinkerton Academy is a public academy and designated school of record for high school students in Hampstead. All right, next slide. On the projected enrollment used for budgeting, as you can see in the Central School, we currently have 450 students in pre-K through 4. We are projected as an increase of 51 students to bring to 501 students next year. For middle school, grades 5 through 8, we have current of 382, projected of 343 next year with a decline of 39 students. And then lastly, at Pinkerton, grades 9 through 12, we have currently 364 students, projected 397, a difference of 33 more for next year. Total district is for next year is 1,241 students, which is a net increase of 44 students total. So mission statement of the school system is to provide challenging education experiences that prepare all students to succeed in their individual potential in a changing world. School board goals for 2022 to 2023, as listed and as previously reviewed, are to focus on facility improvements, for an appreciation of diversity and inclusivity, to concentrate on a strategic plan, to bring a budget to the public that's fiscally responsible, effective use of our resources, to bring in innovative practices, and to concentrate on outdoor community-based learning for our students. All right, we are now going to move forward with part two, which is presentation of the warrant. You can go to the next slide. All right. So the preview of this warrant, 2023 school district warrant. To the inhabitants of the school district of the town of Hampstead, New Hampshire, qualified to vote in district affairs. First session of annual meeting, deliberative. You are hereby notified to meet at the Hampstead Middle School, 28 School Street, Hampstead, New Hampshire, on Tuesday, the 7th of February, 2023 at 7 p.m. This session shall consist of explanation, discussion, and debate of warrant articles, numbers 2 through 9. Warrant articles may be amended to the following limitations. Warrant articles, those wording is prescribed by law, shall not be amended. B, warrant articles that are amended shall be placed on the official ballot for the final vote on the main motion as amended. And C, no warrant articles shall be amended to eliminate the subject matter of the article. An amendment that changes the dollar amount of an appropriation is a warrant article, does not violate this provision. Second session of annual meeting, voting. Voting on warrant articles 1 through 9 will be conducted by official ballot to be held in conjunction with the town meeting voting to be held on Tuesday, the 14th of March, 2023 at the Hampstead Middle School, 28 School Street, Hampstead, New Hampshire. Polls will be open from 8 a.m. until 8 p.m. And just as a matter of clerical, I believe there is a typo here. It is on February 14th, is that correct? Or is it on the 7th? It is on the 14th. So one change, and we'll have this amended. The first session of the annual meeting, the deliberative, is on the 14th of February, not the 7th. So that is a typo. Right? No? Yep, the 14th of February.
The 7th of February.
Oh, it is on the 7th? Sorry? The 7th is? Okay, so 7th is, okay, my bad then. All right, so it is correct, 7th day of February. All right. Thank you. All right. So Article 1, election of officers. So we do have 5 positions that are open. We have 2 school board member positions open for 3-year terms each. We have the school district moderator, which is 3-year term, school district treasurer, which is 3-year term, and the school district clerk, which is 3-year term. The filing period for the candidates is from Wednesday, January 25th through Friday, February 3rd at the superintendent's office, which is located at 20 Mary E. Clark Drive, number 10, Hampstead, New Hampshire. All right. Next, we'll move on to Article 2, bond proposal. The public hearing on the budget will follow the public hearing on the bond. Part 3, public hearing on the bond. Public hearing on the bond is now open. Next slide. All right, Article 2, bond issue. Bond issue, Hampstead Central School Addition Project. Shall the voters of Hampstead School District vote to raise and appropriate the sum of $8,190,000 for the Hampstead School Addition Project and authorize the issuance of not more than $7,690,000 of bonds or notes under and in compliance with the provision of the Municipal Finance Act, RSA 33, to authorize the school board to issue, negotiate, sell, and deliver such bonds or notes, and to determine the rate of interest thereon in the maturity and other terms thereof, to authorize the school board to apply for, obtain, accept, and expend any federal, state, or other aid that may be available for said project, and to comply with all laws applicable to said project, and to authorize the school board to take any and all necessary in connection therewith, or to pass any other vote relative thereto, and further to raise and appropriate an additional sum of $192,250 for the first year's interest payment on the bond. Note, $500,000 will be utilized from the Capital Reserve Fund. 3/5 ballot vote required. All right, so next we're going to switch this to give an overview of the renovation project. So as we go into this, I'll be turning this over to Superintendent Bob Thompson for the public to be aware. This is a new renovation proposal for those that haven't seen or read this recently, where we looked at past projects and where they did not pass. We looked at what were the priorities for the district based on feedback from the community, and we pared down what was previously brought to the public for voting in many years past, and it was based on priorities surrounding what do the students need to be successful for learning. So we have taken away from this plan a number of items. Last year's total brought to the community with interest was just shy of $15 million. What you'll see and what we're talking about tonight is a different plan where with interest it's just under $10 million. So we have reduced the scope of it, reduced the price, and concentrated on really 3 priorities, which Mr. Thompson will go over.
All right, good evening, everyone. Make sure that's on. All right, just want to start out by saying I'm just very excited about this project. As Chairman Smith indicated, this project is very different than anything that has been proposed in the past. And the planning for the project that you see before you began the day after the larger project vote failed. We conducted what we call an after-action review, where we looked at the information, we surveyed and had conversations with community members, why they did vote for the project, why they did not. We also looked at what are our highest priorities when it comes to a renovation project. And really what you see before you are months of that labor. And really what we've done is we've identified 3 critical priorities, and we're actually doing it in a very cost-effective and reasonable way. So let's get into this. There are 3 priorities for the latest renovation project. Number 1, first, foremost, and most important, is safety. And what this project does is it institutes modern security measures to protect our students in compliance with the Department of Homeland Security. A second priority for us is the education of our children with disabilities, and that is children in special education. And this plan will optimize in-district opportunities for children with special needs. And then third, student learning. And when we talk about student learning, because that's at the core of everything we do, we're really talking about additional classroom space, and we're talking about a library media space that's appropriate for our students in our community. So let's dig in real quick. We'll start with safety and security. When we discuss safety and security, what we are looking to do is build a main office suite that is off the main entrance of the current building. So this visitor's main entrance would be a secure entryway. There's actually 3 secure entry points before a visitor would be able to actually get into the building. And this will really reroute and locate all traffic to the main office separate from the rest of the building. We also had a survey, an audit done by the Department of Homeland Security in March, and they identified some key deficiencies that the board has reviewed. And this project complies with the recommendations in the audit and really solves some of the safety and security issues that are present today at the Central School. And then lastly, this project will move the nurse's office from the opposite end of the building away from the main office down to the main office area. This nurse's suite is a larger suite. And again, it allows for parents to come to the building, have a conversation with their nurse, pick up their child without actually having to walk all the way through the building to get to the nurse's office. You can advance the slide, please. Second, we're talking about special education. We're talking about educating our children with disabilities, and really the benefit of this project, when we move the main office area and when we move the library, when we create new space, we're opening up existing space that we can renovate and repurpose. And the benefit of what we're proposing really is in special education. So this supports the ability to create future programming. As we know, we have children with very unique disabilities that sometimes require we build programming in district. So there is an opportunity for us to educate children here in our community schools. So if you're a child with a disability, we want to educate you to the greatest extent possible here in your home school. So again, the goal is to keep students in district for their education needs, which can have some financial benefit to it. It also repurposes areas for special ed. Again, the current administration area, if you've been in the main office, there are smaller office areas there. That will be great for students to receive small group instruction, as opposed to a classroom where there's been occasion where we could have 3 or 4 teachers instructing children in small group instruction. So this new design provides kids access to small group instruction in private spaces. We can also look to repurpose the nurse's office. The benefit of this is the nurse's office has a bathroom. There are some special education program space requirements that require a bathroom. So again, this is flexible space that we could look at, future use as a special education program. And then also, as many people are aware, there are classrooms in the 1940s wing that are very small. They cannot meet the needs that we have with our current class sizes, but they would make appropriate special education space, again, for the education of children in small groups. So there's tremendous benefit to children with disabilities in special education. And then lastly, student learning. And again, student learning is at the core of everything that we do. So really, to narrow that focus when we talk about student learning, we're really talking about the addition of 4 classrooms off the newly renovated 60s wing. What this does is it really is allowing us to maintain our kindergarten program and possibly expand. It also helps us meet the needs of our growing enrollment. Our enrollment is going up. And it was unfortunate that last year we actually had to turn away a number of families who wanted to put their children in full-day kindergarten. We just didn't have the space to do it. And as a result, those children miss out on a full-day kindergarten experience. The addition of these 4 classrooms will allow us to get to a level where we can support children in kindergarten. Additionally, we're going to create a new library media center. So if you look at the design here, above the main office suite, we would have a library media center. That library media center is just over 2,000 square feet. There's small group instruction space, there's storage space, and really what this enables us to do is it enables us to have entire classes of children come to the library, gain valuable literacy skills, use technology, is being utilized in other school library media centers right now. Things like 3D printers or smart boards or, other technologies. And really what we're talking about is moving our library media center out of a classroom into the space that our children deserve. And again, what this will do is this will free up an additional classroom so that we can maintain class sizes that are within board policy. So again, it's really important for us to focus, and the feedback that we've heard from the community is you really want to make sure that you are focusing on the absolute highest priorities. That's safety, that's special education, that's student learning. And so one question that is commonly asked by members of the community is, what are we losing? So the larger project that failed, the $12.9 million project, what did we lose in this proposal? And really what we're talking about is there's a couple of items that we took out because they're not an absolute necessity. They're nice things to have. I would love us to have a new music room, but we don't need it. But what we do need is we need better school safety for the children at the central school. It would be wonderful to have a cafeteria. A dedicated cafeteria aside from the gym. But we don't need it. But what we do need is space for the expansion of special education. So we took out a gang bathroom. That's something that we could probably fund in a future operating budget. It doesn't have to be part of a bond. We don't absolutely need it, but we do absolutely need a library media center. So I am incredibly proud of the project that we've put forward. We have listened to this community, and we understand that it is important for us to come in with something that's fiscally responsible. This project is fiscally responsible. And we've listened to the community who have told us it is our job as educators to meet the needs of children. This project achieves that. Thank you.
All right. Thank you, Ms. Thompson. And for those at home or in the audience, if for more information, including a lot more about the price and about frequently asked questions, more pictures, and more detail, you can visit the Hampstead Central School website and the link under the HCS edition. There's a lot more information for those and we'll continue to update that website with a lot more information about the project. Next is about the tax rate. So what you see here is what is the tax rate for 2024, and then for fiscal year 2025, and then the future year averages. So for the first year, it is on interest only at $192,250. For fiscal year 2025 is $1.134 million. And then the average of the years going out is $942,000. As you can see, the next column, the additional tax per $1,000 of your assessed home value. First year is at 14 cents. Again, that's for the interest-only payment. Then it's 84 cents for every 1,000. And then for future years after 2025, it's on average 70 cents. We picked a $400,000 home to demonstrate what the annual impact is. So the first year, which is again interest only, is $56 for the year, or approximately $467 per month for a $400,000 assessed home value. For fiscal year 2025, it is $336 for the year, or $28 per month. And then the average for the future years is $278.22, or $23.19 per month for a home that's $400,000. At this point, we'll open the floor to any questions or comments from the public about the bond. Just to remind everybody present in the room that anyone wishing to speak at the podium must be a Hampstead resident and be prepared to state his or her full name and address for the official record. Open this up if there's anyone that's going to speak. Nope.
Hi, my name is Aileen Wall. My address is 44 Kelly Brook Lane in East Hampstead. How many years is this bond? Did I miss that? It's 10 years. So the first year is really 2025?
First year's next.
2024, but we're only doing interest on that year.
Yep.
So the first full year, 336 is
Fiscal year 2025.
Okay, that's what I wanted. Thank you very much.
All right. Any other questions or comments? Going once. All right. The public hearing is now closed on the bond. All right. Part 4, public hearing on the budget. The public hearing is now open, and it is approximately 7:25. Article 3, the operating budget. Shall the voters of Hampstead School District raise and appropriate as an operating budget, not including appropriations by special warrant articles and other appropriations voted separately, the amounts set forth on the budget posted with the warrant, for the purposes set forth therein, totaling $32,821,710. Should this article be defeated, and the operating budget shall be $32,775,756, which is the same as last year, with certain adjustments required by previous action of the Hampstead School District or by law, or the governing body may hold one special meeting in accordance with RSA 4013, 10, and 16 to take up the issue of revised operating budget only. Note, warrant Article 3, operating budget, does not include appropriations provided under any other warrant articles. Majority vote required. We'll now go into the budget presentation overview. We'll cover the overall budget proposal, any budget drivers, staffing and personnel, highlights of new and deleted items by department, the revenue budget, budget trends, and the default budget. As stated, the overall budget proposal is $32,821,710. And the current budget of $32,189,534, which gives us a difference of $632,176, or a net increase of 1.9% year over year. We'll go to the next slide. Budget the 2023-2024 drivers. And this is by description and object code. So salaries is an increase of $90,441. Group insurance is $202,096. Teachers' retirement is a negative $108,289. Professional services as compared to last year, $103,748 increase. Computer services is a net decrease of $11,995. Repair and maintenance is a net decrease of $15,302. Transportation services is a net increase of $195,627. And then travel and workshops is a net increase of $94,835. Go to the next slide. All right. Continuing on with the budget drivers for 2023-2024, supplies are a net increase of $16,301. Software is a net increase of $20,164. Tuition is $491,968. Utilities and energy is up $79,700. Books and information resources, net decrease of $22,811. Equipment is net decrease of $10,657. Fund transfers are a net decrease of $500,000, and the miscellaneous net increase of $6,350. Again, for the total increase is $632,176, or as we stated in the previous, was 1.96% year over year. All right. Next is personnel, new and deleted items. $37,223 increase for the ESOL tutor teacher hours, $57,773 for one network administrator, and then decrease of $38,727 for reducing of one tech assistant, and then a reduced one HAS secretary for $35,925 for a net increase of $19,644 for total personnel. Moving on, for the Hsd School, Central School, new and deleted items, $3,509 to add digital library, which is audiobooks, ebooks, etc. $5,944 to add classroom furniture, flexible seating. $20,000 increase for adding classroom furniture replacement. $4,500 for field trips. We are taking away $6,181 for AV new and replacement equipment, and then taking away $7,915 for testing scoring, and supplies, for a net increase of $19,857. Hempstead Middle School, any new and deleted items, $4,734, adding new equipment for language arts, iPads for instructions. We are taking away $4,305 for office equipment, taking away $9,343 for deleting FACS's guidance library equipment, and then taking away $3,360 for athletics, taking away the additional team that we are not budgeting, for a net decrease at the middle school for $12,274. All right, information technology for the new and deleted items. We've added $12,273 for software around antivirus and student coding software, adding $11,668 for info access fees, taking away $25,000 for info access fees on website updates, and then taking away $28,130 on deleting tech replacement equipment, such as computer lab and staff devices, for a net decrease of $29,189 for the info technology area. Next is on curriculum. There's 2 lines for $45,000 each for adding curriculum development implementation at HCS, and the second line is for adding curriculum development implementation at HMS. And then we are deleting FLES curriculum development of $27,840 for a net increase of $62,160 for total curriculum. Lastly, for facilities, we are adding to the budget $174,470 for site work to remove underground storage tank removal and replacement. We are deleting a number of lines, $54,059, which was on roof repair. We're taking away $42,000, which was flooring, taking away another $44,773 for other professional services, because we need less construction PM services there. Removing $2,065 for removing facility software that's not needed. Taking away $5,571 for replacement equipment, less replacement equipment needed. And then lastly, taking away $4,199 for new equipment grounds for the snowplow that was purchased in the previous year, for a net increase of $21,803. Next slide. Won't go through all the numbers on this, but this is the 2023-2024 revenue budget that is being proposed. Again, this is where you see the budgeted numbers from last year to this year. The difference of last year being $32,346,283, and what is being brought to the voters of $32,821,710, where, as you can see on the screen and at home, a number of items where you can see the net increases and decreases. Next page. All right, thank you. This just shows the trends for those at home and in the audience of what the year-over-year increases have been from 2012 to 2013 through what's being proposed now. As you can see, the average across those years is 2.77%. So this year we are proposing a net increase of 1.96%, which is under the average over the last 10 years. Next slide. Default budget. Should the proposed budget be defeated, the default budget would be $32,775,756. As we can see, the difference between the proposed budget and the default budget is a difference of $45,954. We'll go to the public hearing on the budget. We'll now open the floor to any questions about the budget. Anyone wishing to speak, again, when you come to the podium, must be a Hampstead resident and be prepared to state your full name and address for the record. All right. And does not look like this. Anybody will be speaking. So the public hearing on the budget is now closed. It's approximately 7:35 p.m. All right, Part 5, additional warrant articles. Sorry. Article 4, collective bargaining agreement, Hampstead Education Association. Shall the Hampstead School District vote to approve the cost items included in the collective bargaining agreement reached between the Hampstead School Board and the Hampstead Education Association, which calls for the following increases in salaries and benefits at the current staffing levels over the amount paid in the prior fiscal year. This is for 2 years, where year 1 total is $350,123, year 2 is $324,467. And further to raise and appropriate the sum of $350,123 for the 2023-2024 fiscal year, such sum representing the additional cost attributable to the increase in salaries and fringe benefits required by the new agreement over those that would be paid at current staffing levels. Majority vote required. All right, go to the next slide. Thank you. All right, Article 4, the collective bargaining agreement. Here are the major terms that are part of this with the Hampstead Education Association. So for wage information, on step, year 1 would be 4% plus step, year 2 would be 3% plus step, off step for years 1 and 2 would be 3%. Insurance, district contribution is down 1% per year. In year 1, we go from current of 90% down to 89%, year 2 down from 89% to 88%. Also, the retiree medical supplements sunsets for employees hired after June 30th, 2025. Go to the next slide. Make sure. All right. Article 5 is the collective bargaining agreement, Hampstead Association of School Staff. Shall the Hampstead School District vote to approve the cost items included in the collective bargaining agreement reached between the Hampstead School Board and the Hampstead Association of School Staff, which calls for the following increases in salaries and benefits at the current staffing levels over the amount paid in the prior fiscal year. The cost distribution for year 1 is $213,172 total. Year 2, $185,420. Year 3, $185,420. And further to raise and appropriate the sum of $213,172 for the 2023-2024 fiscal year. Such sum representing the additional cost attributable to the increase in salaries and fringe benefits required by the new majority over those that would be paid at current staffing levels. Majority vote required. Major terms of this Article 5 that have been reached as part of the collective bargaining agreement with the Hampstead Association of School Staff. Wage information, on step all years, is $1.55 hour plus 45-cent step increase. Off step all years is a $2 increase. For the mentoring program, the district will implement a mentoring program, and then the mentor stipend will be $500 per mentee and paid training. Also included in this is a crossing guard. When a crossing guard is an existing district HAS employee, there will be a stipend of $8.70 per hour, which increases 60 cents an hour annually. And just as a note on the mentoring programs, this is very important, is that the mentoring program is, the purpose of it is to allow for better onboarding, improve staff retention, and to improve ongoing support for students and staff. All right. Article 6 is the authorization for special meetings on cost items. Thank you. Shall the Hampstead School District, if Article 4 or Article 5 is defeated, authorize the Hampstead School Board to call a special meeting at its option to address the Article 4 and or Article 5 cost item only. Majority vote required. Without this article, the district would have to petition the Superior Court for a special school district meeting. This saves the district the expense of attorney's fees and court costs. Article 7, Capital Reserve Fund. If and only if Article 2, the bond article, passes, then the voters of the Hampstead School District raise and appropriate up to $300,000 in excess of the first $150,000 of surplus to be placed in the school renovation, reconstruction, and capital improvement capital reserve fund, previously established in 2006, with such amount to be transferred from the June 30th, 2023 unassigned fund balance surplus available for transfer on July 1st, 2023. If Article 2 fails, then this article shall be deemed null and void. Majority vote required. As a note, the first $150,000 of surplus will be returned to the taxpayers. Up to $300,000 of the balance of the remaining surplus will be placed in capital reserve fund. The funds from this article come from the 2022-2023 school budget surplus, not from additional taxes. This article is contingent upon Article 2, the bond article, passing. Next one, Article 8. All right. So a second one on the capital reserve fund. If and only if Article 2, the bond articles, fails, then shall the voters of the Hampstead School District raise and appropriate up to $1 million in excess of the first 150,000 of surplus to be placed in the school renovation, reconstruction, and capital improvement capital reserve fund previously established in 2006, with such amount to be transferred from the June 30th, 2023 unassigned fund balance surplus available for transfer on July 1st, 2023. If Article 2 passes, then this article shall be deemed null and void. Majority vote required. Again, note, the first 150th surplus will be returned to the taxpayers. The balance of the remaining surplus will be placed in the Capital Reserve Fund. The funds from this article come from the 2022-2023 school budget surplus, not from additional taxes. This article is contingent upon Article 2, the bond article, not passing. Article 9, accept reports. Shall the Hampstead School District accept reports of agents, auditors, and committees as written in the 2020-22 annual report? Majority vote required. Next. And again, as a reminder, deliberative session 1, which will begin at 7 p.m. on Tuesday, February 7th, 2023. Hampstead Middle School. It'll be here at the Hampstead Middle School, 28 School Street, Hampstead, New Hampshire, with a snow date of being February 8th, 2023. And at this time, this is a means of noticing the public of that session. Now, we will be going into a special board meeting where the board will now meet to consider the actions based on public hearing regarding the budget and each of the articles. We will look for a motion to adjourn.
David,
Oh, go ahead.
before you do, could I just supplement the
Yes.
information? You've done an excellent job presenting. Thank you. I wanted to bring to the attention for the folks at home, the folks who are here, what we presented and what we talked about for the budget were what we call the new and deleted items schedule. That is not a reflection of a department being up or down. That only reflects whether we have a new initiative or something that we're removing from the budget altogether.
Right.
We do have the department level budget information which was presented to the board on the budget site if our public would like to go and view it. Feel free. We also have a friend of ours from Concord here this evening, and if you noticed in the revenue section, we are looking and anticipating additional adequacy aid, which is very helpful. So thank you. We received a New Hampshire retirement system a refund initiated by the legislature in Concord, all of which helped to reduce our local tax burden, and I appreciate that. So thank you very much. And also our default budget information, more detailed information, is also on the warrant site that David referenced earlier. It's in a packet that we have here tonight, but if you're not here, we do have some required information that we've put out there. So, so it is. So thank you. That's all.
Thank you, Mr. Dow. All right. So we will look for a motion to adjourn the public hearing. For a second?
Second.
All right. All approved?
Thank
All
you.
right. All right. So now we are going into special meeting. And so we will go right into it right now. Special meeting is, again, for the purposes of taking recommendation action on the warrant and or, so let's move on to that. Second. Get myself organized a little bit here. All right. I am opening this special meeting on January 10th, 2023 at 7:45 p.m. The purpose of this meeting is to take recommendation action on the budget and each of the warrant articles with the exception of Article 1, which does not require a vote. Everyone has a copy of the 2023 warrant in your board packets, stapled behind your agenda page, and go ahead and please locate your copy now.
Melissa has to call the roll.
You have to call the roll?
No, I don't think it's necessary since there wasn't an intermission. That's a great question, though.
Yep. Okay. All right. So again, Article 1 is on the election of officers. There is no recommendation required here, but I will repeat again that for those at home, yeah, you can stop projecting. Yep. Thank you, Jen. All right. So again, the Article 1 was the election of officers. We do, just to repeat what we were talking about in the prior meeting, we We do have two school board members up for vote, which is 2 3-year terms. We have the school district moderator for a 3-year term, a school district treasurer 3-year term, and the school district clerk 3-year term. All right. Now moving on to Article 2, I will ask for a motion and discuss before we vote. Can I have a motion to recommend Article 2, the bond issue, Hampstead School addition project for this year's warrant?
So moved.
Second.
And seconded by Mr. Giard. All right, any discussions? Anything to add? All right, I'll say, I'm looking forward to bringing this to the voters and getting more information out over the next 2 months as we get ahead of this and bringing this, again, I think it delivers the needs, as Mr. Thompson was saying, and I think that if people can come and take a tour of the central school, they'll see some of the really good information and see what the condition of the rooms are, where the rooms of special education, what we can and cannot serve, and what it'll do for the future, and meet some of the administration teachers to actually see firsthand what is going on. I'm sure Dr. Cheney or Mr. Schmidt, as the principal and vice principal, would be more than welcoming anybody to come and take a tour and see what is part of this plan. So looking forward to communicating a lot more information to the public over the next 2 months. So any further questions, comments? All right. How many in favor? All right. Unanimous? Thank you.
Thank you.
All right. So now we're going to move on to Article 3, the operating budget. Again, I will ask for a motion and discussion before we vote. Can I have a motion to recommend Article 3, operating budget?
So moved. Second.
All right. Any discussion here? All right, I'll take the opportunity again. Just want to say, I think it was another good year between the board, administration, teachers, and everybody to bring forth a budget that is 1.9% as we look across the state and we hear a lot of information about other budgets that are up closer to the double digits. I think we've done a really good job of reviewing from the bottoms up what is in this budget. So I know for myself, very proud of what the work the team has done to bring this budget at a 1.9%. So any other comments, discussion? All right. How many in favor?
Thank you.
All right. Next is the, make sure I get these right. Thank you. Article 4, which is the collective bargaining agreement with the Hampstead Education Association. I'll ask for a motion and discussion before we vote. Can I have a motion to recommend Article 4, which is the collective bargaining agreement with the Hampstead Education Association?
So moved.
Second.
Second. Any discussion? You guys gonna make me say it? Just thank you for everybody that's been involved in this. It's a long process, good process, and again, I think we should all be proud of what we brought and came to get some good negotiations on this. So thank you all. Any in favor? All right, unanimous. All right. All right, moving on to Article 5 now, collective bargaining agreement, Hampstead Association of School Staff. Can I get a motion to recommend this Article 5?
So moved.
Second.
Any discussion?
I just think nowadays it's so important to have these school staff members, and they're really hard to find, so I really appreciate their efforts, and I'm glad we can reward them with a raise.
Good. All right. How many in favor? All right. Let's go to Article 6, authorization for special meeting on cost items. I'll ask for a motion in discussion before we vote. Can I have a motion to recommend Article 6?
So moved.
Ooh, all right. Seconded?
Second.
All right. All right, any discussion? All right. How many in favor? All right.
Thank you.
Thank you. All right, on to Article 7, Capital Reserve Fund. So this is the one that if the article passes, that we'd be looking to put $300,000 into the Capital Reserve Fund. I'll ask for a motion before any discussion. Motion to recommend Article 7 for the Capital Reserve Fund.
So moved.
I'll second. All right, any discussion on this?
I basically think it's important to note that the $300,000 is an insurance policy against a problem in the leach field or any big, this should cover any big thing that comes up. So I feel like that's the right amount.
I echo that. I think just making sure that we have enough, but if it passes, there wouldn't be a need for larger sums to go into capital reserve in the future. We can get back to having a security blanket of sorts. So I agree with you on that, Dr. Hubner. So, all right. Any other discussion, comments? All right. How many in favor? All right. Article 8, also on the capital reserve. I'll ask for a motion to end discussion before we vote. I have a motion to recommend Article 8 on the capital reserve fund.
So moved.
Seconded.
Second.
Any discussion? No? All right. This one I'll say, for the public, is this one, it puts, in case Article 2, which is the renovation project, in case it fails, we are against having enough classroom size, and so this is to bring anything over that $150,000, $1 million in excess to the capital reserve fund, so then we can look at building out classrooms if the renovation project does fail. So, and I think it's important to note that both Article 7 and Article 8 is not to add taxes, but rather than taking the surplus from our existing budget for the 2022-2023. So this is kind of a safety blanket of sorts in case Article 2 does fail. So, which we all hope that it does not. So, any other discussion, comments? All right, how many in favor? All right, unanimous. All right, lastly, Article 9. So I'll ask again for a motion and discussion before we vote. Can I have a motion to recommend Article 9, the general acceptance of reports?
So moved.
All right,
I'll second that.
all right, any discussion? All right, all in favor?
Okay, thank you.
All right. All right, is there any other business to discuss, board members? All right, then I'll look for a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
I'll second that. All right, all approved? Raise your hand. All right, that adjourns us at 7:55 p.m. on January 10th.